What's good, everyone? Your boy Dak908 here. Ladies and gents, I bring you my not five, I almost said top five. It's not a top five. There are 7 things on this list today. Not quite a top 10, a little more than a top 5, so it's like a bonus DLC extra to a top 5, but not the full game of a top 10, you know what I mean? Anyway, regardless. This is my list of things that I actually really like in Monster Hunter. Now, I just labeled it as things because there's nothing really specific about it that I really like. I mean, some of them are mechanics, some of them are just things, you know what I mean? Like, what I couldn't really hammer down exactly what I want to do a top whatever of. There was so many things, so I decided let's just do things, and here we are, top 7 things. Enjoy the list. Okay, so the AI companions in Monster Hunter are like really cool. They're one of my favorite things about the game because not all the time can you hunt with your friends online or locally or whatever. So they gave these AI companions so that way you can still hunt relatively effectively while having a little bit of help. Now, these guys, they don't necessarily fight the monster per se in the same capacity you do. They normally just give you passive buffs, things like that. They'll give you a health buff, or they'll give you a defense or attack, or make it to where the mud and snow thing, earplugs, just random buffs, you know, all these random buffs, practically like miniature hunting horn users walking around the place, you know what I mean? Now, they come in the form of Palicos and Cha-Cha and Kayamba, which is Shakalaka. Now, personally, I prefer the Shakalaka combo. Those guys are really fun. They have the greatest dialogue in all of Monster Hunter, period, bar none. No other character in Monster Hunter has better dialogue than those guys. The Palicos only necessarily, in my opinion, come even close. However, I will say the Palicos are really good because they're very versatile. You can outfit them with different weapons and armor and skills and everything else. So people who really like the full-on versatile, extra, you know, super omega stuff, then they might run Palicos because there's different ways to make Palicos way stronger than you would like to actually think them to normally be. But Shakalakas, man, I love those guys. Okay, they're just cool. They have the most character. Okay, honestly, you cannot not like these guys. You have to love them. All right, but I do like the AI companions because they give you that bit of flair when it comes to, you know, hunting by yourself. They allow you to actually still hunt effectively, and they're one of my favorite things about Monster Hunter for sure. Alright, so the grind, okay? We all know about the grind. The grind is real, and in Monster Hunter is no different. Now, the thing is, though, what sets Monster Hunter apart from other games that have grind in it, i.e. like MMOs and stuff like that, is that it's actually fun. That's right, it is fun to grind in Monster Hunter because it's such an active game. Never, almost ever, is any fight actually the same. That's unless you start like speedrunning a monster, you kill it in like 14 seconds or whatever. I mean, that's cool in and of itself. Shout out to Team Darkside, those dudes is really hype. I love their videos and everything, but it's not the same because not everybody's good as those guys. For the normal guy, you go in there, okay, I have to fight a Rathos, I need to get a mantle, it has a 3% drop chance. What do? You cut the tail off, you break his head, you do a couple other things that you could do to actually maximize your chance to actually getting it, and then you just kill the monster afterwards, right? Or you capture it if you're really about that life. And it makes you feel so much better when you actually do get all the stuff you need, and you make that armor, you make that weapon, and you get to stunt. Boy, do you get to stunt. You pull it like, yo, where you get that, oh, yo, my man, have you seen my new, yeah, alright, and then there was like, yo, son, that's like mad nice. So that's why I like Monster Hunter grind. It's better, it's not that hard, and you enjoy yourself while you do it. Okay, so items in Monster Hunter. Really underrated thing to even talk about, truth be told, and honestly, I'm gonna give my piece about it. Now, items are stupid versatile, like I said prior, but like what people don't really understand is how much you can do with them. Really, guys, there's so much you can do. Apart from putting down bombs and using them as traps and everything, drinking potions like Cool Drink, and combining mushrooms with other things so that you have coatings for your bow, whatever. I mean, that's pretty much what everyone really uses items for. But guys, think about it. There's so many other things you can use your items with. I mean, I know you guys probably know about the Psycho Serum, so that way you don't have to carry a map around with you because you can actually see where the monster are on the map. You know about energy drink that doubles as a means of extending your stamina bar, so that way if you do get hit with like something like sleep, you drink that, you wake up and you have more stamina along the lines. I mean, there's a lot of really cool items out there that not a lot of people like to utilize. I mean, you can use certain things like might pills and mega demon drugs and all these other really cool things that it boosts your attack so high that you can like kill monsters in like 10 hits and that's it. I mean, use these things, guys. These items are broken and they're nuts and they're zany, but like just use them. Trust me on this and just go on your next hunt and use like 30 random items. Trust me, just do it. Alright, so you already know we was gonna talk about the monsters, okay? This is Monster Hunter. When you talk about Monster Hunter, you gotta talk about the monsters, right? Yo, so let me first say this. Shout outs to Capcom for making the monsters the way they act in this game, okay? Real talk, the behaviors, the animations, the art style, the colors, everything about each monster in this game is phenomenal. That goes for standard monsters, subspecies, deviants, variants, elder dragons, etc. All those guys, they all look great. I am not mad at any one single monster design. They all look great, and I mean that from my heart of hearts. I say that every monster design looks great. I love them. There's some monsters in there that I don't like because they're really annoying. There's a monster that I really love because, you know, I like to fight them. Their armor is really good towards the way I like to play. The materials they give off, they're relatively good for other things as well. And just more reasons in which you would like something like, I mean, Urigan is my favorite monster, hands down. If I was to make a top 10 video on my favorite monsters of all time, you would already know the #1 spot, Urigan. Why? Because that's just my boy right there, you know what I mean? A lot of people like the monsters because they they start at the cover of the game. You go to the store, you buy the game, you look at the cover, and you're like, yo, that is a dragon. Wrong, it's a wyvern. But they look at it, it's like, yo, my man is looking real crispy right there, you know what I mean? That monster is real cool looking. They'll see Bracky, they'll see Lagiacrus, they'll see Rathalos, they'll see Gormagala, Silver Rathalos is on the cover of one of them. I mean, you'll see all these really cool monsters, right? And you just have to, you look at it, it's like, man, I bet there's a ton of cool monsters in this game. And there are. There's so many cool monsters in this game. Like, have you guys ever just sat down and thought about all the monsters in the Monster Hunter universe? How they live with each other in their own ecosystem? Monster Hunter World is going to turn that on its head, but just think about like all the monsters that live in the Monster Hunter World. It's crazy that all these massive monsters, these behemoths, if you will, fuck Dauntless, but these massive behemoth type monsters, they're just out there doing what they do on a day-to-day, and then we as the hunters come in there to, I don't know, I guess to rile them up. But from a gameplay perspective, no other game does it like the way Monster Hunter does it. There's many games out there that's trying to copy the style. There's many games that are trying to be something that they really look up to toward, like this game, and then change certain mechanics about it so that way they feel it plays a little bit better than this game right here. Dauntless again, fuck you, bro. Ham skips, we got Monster Hunter World, cuz. But it's just not gonna happen. Monster Hunter stands as king when it comes to making monsters. That's just real talk. Now, before I get started, I'm gonna need you to take your palms off your face. I know that right there is some CG, but we're not talking about the CG animations. We're talking about the real animations. I just put that there because I think it's really cool, and I think you guys should actually see that. That is the Japanese intro, or actually the intro to Monster Hunter Double Cross. Most of you guys don't see it because you don't have the game, but if you do have the game, huzzah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's get to the animations. Now, the animations in Monster Hunter is really what makes the monsters come alive. You know what I mean? We just talked about how the monsters are pivotal parts of the game itself, but how they move, how they feel real is what really sets it off. Now, this is a thing that I can't really show you a bunch of clips of, you know, stuff happening, so honestly, it's a thing that you need to actually see in actual action. So here's actual gameplay of me fighting Monster, because that's the best way to really do it. Because I mean, all these other little clips and snips right here, they're just showing you a bunch of cool things here and there, but you really need to sit down and take in an actual fight. But with that being said, the animations in this game, they're really crisp, okay? They started off a little rocky in the very beginning. I want to say roughly around the 3rd generation, they really nailed it down. That's when you start seeing things really look and animate how they're actually supposed to. Now, the hunters themselves have kind of been necessarily the same for the most part, and when I look at them, it doesn't really break my immersion too much, because I mean, they kind of are a little bit stiff. Even in the cutscenes, they're a little stiff, but the monsters, they for the most part stay crisp. Now, a lot of things, or like one huge, I guess, caveat to it is that a lot of the monsters have skeleton types, and a lot of these monsters share the same skeleton type, meaning if you break it down to wireframes, a lot of the monsters are practically just the same monster, just like a different skin over top of them. Think of like a wireframe, or better yet, think of you guys seen anime, you guys watch anime, so let's say there's an anime where there's like this robot person, right, and they just like put flesh on him and he looks like another person. Then they take that flesh off with some more flesh, it looks like a different person. Same thing, you know what I mean, but at the core it's just a skeleton. However, what I'm talking about is a lot of the animations are kind of the same, in the main series as is, but thanks to Monster Hunter World being produced on new hardware, better and bigger, everything, we're probably going to see new skeletons, new animations, new good stuff for all the monsters. So as it stands right now, the animations are fine, but they're totally going to get better. So long as they keep animating the monsters as well as they've been doing as is, my immersion will be set in there and I will be happy. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Dak, really? The Superman dive? The dolphin dive? The turbo dive? Yes, the Superman dive, the dolphin dive, the turbo, yes, the dive, yes. We are going to talk about the dive, damn it, because the dive is the greatest thing known to Monster Hunter. Hands down, bar none. I'm lying, but yo, it's in there, okay? Think about it, real talk, guys, real talk. The dive saves lives. Potions don't save lives. Dives save lives. Dives can also kill you, and so can potions, because when you think you about to die, like, yo, I'm a dive, and the monster's like, I was kidding, but I'm waiting for you to stop being invincible to, hit you with the mat. It happens. And you'll be taking a potion, and in the animation for, the whole thing that take place, you're like, yo, hurry up, and then you get the mat, you know what I mean? But yo, I'm just saying the dive saves people, and it's an amazing mechanic. Like, real talk, okay, imagine the scenario, okay? You're fighting a monster, right? And he turns on you and you have like no health, okay? And he's hitting you with the whammy and like, yo, I gotta dive. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those situations where you're looking at the gameplay, everything starts moving in slow motion, your butt cheeks kind of tense up real quick, you raise up and you see your hands and sweaty eyes getting bucked, and you hit that sweet button combination to dive out the way, and you're safe. That is the greatest feeling, is it not? Is that not the greatest feeling? And that's what this dive can do. Hopefully, you understand now why it's so important to me. Okay, now I want you all to sit up in your chairs right now. Raise your hand, okay? If any of you know who your boy is, if you know the Dig Dug himself, Dak908, if you know me, raise your hand if you already knew what number one was gonna be. You mammy fact damn right it's damn underwater, damn it. I love me some damn water. Let me tell you something, bruh. Water was the greatest thing to happen to Monster Hunter. Next to killing the monster, water is the next best thing. Bro, I mean, real talk. I go in my brain. I try to be reasonable and I try to be unreasonable. And I get the same answer. Water, bro. Water is the greatest thing in Monster Hunter next to just it being Monster Hunter. Okay? It is my favorite thing ever. A lot of people don't like underwater combat. Some do. A lot of people say, oh, Dak, it's clunky and oh, it's slow and my weapon isn't very good. Man, yo, this is an additive I never, ever, 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 ever use. Ever. But get good. Okay? Real talk. This is Monster Hunter, cuz. I mean, I don't know what game you playing. Yo, Monster Hunter. Hold that. Get good or hold that L. That's what this game is supposed to be about. These last couple games maybe not so much, but the game is called Monster Hunter. You're supposed to hold that shit or get good. Alright? When I first played Monster Hunter Try and got to being busy underwater, I was fine with it. A lot of people say, well, Dak, use a lance. Yeah, I use a lance, but we're talking about Monster Hunter Try, a game with 18 monsters and like 10 weapons. And I have 2,000 some odd hours in that. I used everything eventually underwater. Everything. And there's only like 2 weapons all day who are kind of flimsy underwater, and that's like the sword and shield and I think the bow is what people are telling me, but that's it, okay? Everything else is solid. All right, just get good with it. I mean, the camera might be kind of an issue to some people, but yo, this is Monster Hunter. The camera's always been kind of an issue to some people. Just deal with it. Get good and overcome your shortcomings, and I promise you'll really enjoy what it has to offer. Now, if you don't take my word for it, okay, peep the scenario. We're fighting Plesioth. That's right, Plesioth. The monster that no one likes. The one who's the #1 meme monster in all of Monster Hunter. The hip checks. The hip check don't lie, because it's Plesioth, he's thicker than Shakira. That whole thing, you know what I mean? In the beginning, you have to fight Plesioth on land. How? Well, you have to bring him on land. Whether you fish him out or use sonic bombs. But if he was enraged where the sonic bombs don't work, you have to hold that until he decides to come on land. Okay, I want to know the person's name who said, bro, fighting Plesioth underwater where it would make so much sense and easier for you to actually do is like a dumb idea. Let's not let you fight Plesioth underwater anymore, because people don't like. You know what? No, I'm not gonna think. No, I'm not. I'm gonna draw all this out mad long. Just understand that water is my favorite mechanic in all of Monster Hunter, my favorite thing in all of Monster Hunter, and if you don't like water, then you need to reevaluate a couple things, because it is the most immersive thing in Monster Hunter, probably next to the mounting, I guess, but the mounting didn't make this list. Personal reasons. Regardless, everyone, that's the video. This is my top 7, not quite a top 10, but the top 7 things in Monster Hunter and all of Monster Hunter that I actually like. Mounting was gonna honestly make an honorable mention thing because I do like immersion in gaming. As much as I didn't necessarily like mounting because it made it a lot easier to do, the way they did the mounting in Generations is more at my speed, to where you can do it's kind of hard to do, but the whole mounting aspect is still immersive. I like immersive gameplay, and that did help with that. I didn't do an honorable mention thing, but there we are for that. Regardless, it's been your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. Let me know how triggered you got in my video, because that's honestly what I set out for when I made this video. Real talk. Peace. Take care. It's been your boy.